Alrighty. Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today we finna react to top 10 hip-hop albums of 1994. Okay, now we already know Illmatic is the consensus number one. It's not even up for debate. The consensus, in my personal opinion, Southern Playlist to Cadillac Music is number one in my personal opinion. I know a lot of people are going to try to make an argument for Biggie's Ready to Die. Yada yada yada. Some people might say the Dog Pound. Some people might say fucking damn, what's another album that came out in '94? I'm trying to think. I can't think of them. I think Wu-Tang. I think some people might say the Wu-Tang, but it is what it is. But anyways, though, without further ado, man, let's get right into this. Top 10 hip-hop albums of 1994. Let's get it.
How's it going, CT fam? This is CJ Williams in the house with Culturalist Theory, and today we're taking it back 30 years to give you our top 10 albums of 1990.
I'm gonna tell y'all rubbing this 30 years in my face like this, dog. I know I'm 30. I know I'm 30, man. Stop it, please.
How, Sway?
Take a few to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what?
You ain't got.
Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the answers.
Stop it. Get some help.
Y'all ain't gotta keep rubbing it in my face, man. I know I'm 30 now. Chill. Culturalist Theory, chill.
94. Now, this list will not include any mixtapes, soundtracks, or EPs, just full-length albums, all right? Now, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the link in the description to join our Discord and continue the convo over there. Now that the stage has been set, let's get ready to rock.
I forgot about Scarface.
Method Man to Cal. Arriving 1 week before future brother in rhyme Redman's Dare is a Dark Side, Mr. Meth was the leading man going for Dolo from the Wu-Tang through his hand-picked label,
I knew it was Wu-Tang I knew somebody from Wu-Tang. I didn't know who. I had to think about it. I thought this came out in 95, but I digress.
Legendary Def Jam Records. The beat for Raekwon's Guillotine foreshadows not only the lead and album title track, but also Meth vs. Chef, a lyrical sparring session between the Wu brothers. No need to adjust your treble or bass because the relative lo-fi sound of the Cal is exactly how the RZA intended for us to hear it. The Iron Lungs vocals are especially rugged on PLO style, and the album version of All I Need, where he and Street Life worked the hook. For marketability purposes, Queen of Hip Hop Soul Mary J. Blige was dialed in for the Puff Daddy radio rendition, in addition to the RZA's Razor Sharp mix. This turned out to be the only time Clifford Smith would bring a Grammy back home to Staten Island, which was for Best Rap Performance by a Duo or Group. Both remixes were made officially available on the deluxe edition many years later. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the lead single, Bring the Pain, which is West Coast Connect Tupac Shakur would go on to borrow not even a full 2 years later on No More Pain. Of course, its influence would transcend beyond that. Release Your Death featuring Blue Raspberry is also noted as a single and even had a video, but our old minds flat out don't recall seeing or hearing this jam outside of the album itself. Sub Crazy Goes Hard and a remix with all new lyrics on Method Man round out this baker's dozen of Wu-branded darts in the 9-4. While it would be easily eclipsed per critics and fans alike by later solo releases from the clan, the Cal did what it needed to do at the time and captured this rapper turned actor during one of his most rawest forms. Number 9, Ja Rule the Damager, The Sun Rises in the East. Ever wanted to hear a Gangstar album with Talib Kweli's forefather standing in for gifted Unlimited Rhymes Universal? Rest in peace. Well, look no further than the debut outing from Brooklyn's own Kendrick. As in Kendrick Ja Rule Davis, that is, aka Ja Rule the Damager. First heard nationally on Gangstar's I'm the Man from their 92 album Daily Operation, and again on Hard to Earn, which you might hear more about later on today. The Sun Rises in the East arrived only 2 months following the latter. Talk about timing. Straying as far left as he could from the domineering gangster rap of the moment, Ja Rule was part of the palate cleansers needed for balance in the hip-hop landscape. Take his lead single, for instance, Come Clean, which has no song hook, just a premier trademark style scratched and samples instead. In a bit of irony, he uses one from Throw Your Guns by the Baldhead crew Onyx, while Davis is challenging MCs with simply stated lines like,
unplug it on chumps with the gangster battle. Leave your nines at home and bring your skills to the battle.
Because any dirty, rotten scoundrel could aim and spray at 9, claiming to be hard, right? Influential doesn't even feel like a grand enough term to describe this track, as there's a laundry list of just how many times this song's been referenced since it hit the streets. Feel free to type in one of your favorite MC's lines about it in the comments below. Mental Stamina featuring Afu Ra, who played the Most Def to Ja Rule's Talib, is a classic send and receive joint, just as Q-Tip and Five Dog have become known for. Unfortunately, they failed to develop their chemistry into something further, as we only got one other collab between the two on Ja Rule's sophomore outing. The ignorance blasting rhyme spewed on You Can't Stop the Prophet must have been too far ahead for the mainstream, as it didn't do anywhere near as well as his signature song or even the middle child Loud single, The Original, which topped out at number 22 on the rap stacks. More lines for the mentally inclined include My Mind Spray, Brooklyn Took It, and Ain't the Devil Happy. When talking about the bitches, he did so in a way that NWA would have never been able to or even thought of, with the concept and production being hot enough for even future God MCJ.
All right, bro, you glazing at this point, bro. Move on to the next person, bro. We don't gotta spend this much time on one person, dog. Get the fuck out of here, dog.
Hove to knock off on 2002's Bitches and Sisters. Clocking in at just under 40 minutes, it won't take long to hear why this underrated Brooklynite showed so much promise with this slept-on but well-respected debut. Number 8, Redman, There Is a Dark Side. With this dome piece literally coming up out the ground as a nod to the Funkadelic album cover Maggot Brain, Reggie Noble was able to sober up long enough to contribute a full-length LP for the 9-4 that's gone on to become a long-time fan favorite. Ironically, Dark Side is Red's least favorite album, partially due to the fact he was stoned out of his damn mind. Only in recent years has he even performed any of the tracks during his live shows. One that gets the crowd going is lead single Rockefeller, an easy pick since it's powered by the same Leon Haywood sample that schooled the world on what a G-thing was. On top of shouting out another great rap single by an artist that's going to be mentioned very shortly, Redman double dips on I Want to Do Something Freaky to You by way of Cosmic Slop. For this track, he rocks alongside Eric Sermon and Keith Murray, which is essentially our first look at the Def Squad trio that would drop their collective debut 4 years later. The hook on Neurotic is also a crystal ball into his musical future in '98, and if you don't believe us, just play I'll Be That right afterwards. Some more joints we dare you not to nod your head to include Journey Through the Dark Side, A Million and One Buddha Spots, and the only other single release, Can't Wait. And like his EPMD brothers before him, he continued what will become a long-running series of Jane tracks by way of his own Superman Lover saga, the former of whom he's claimed to have given the Bozak to, on top of Judy and Rosie the Robot of the Jetsons. Now how's that for some super high hyperbole? But let's keep it a buck, fam. That applies across the whole song and most of the later entries in this series, so that should come as no surprise. Nor should the album swiftly achieve gold-selling status or the fact that it topped the hip-hop and R&B chart. Hell, don't forget to run back our clip on how we rated Redman's full catalog once we're finished here, alright? Let's keep this thing moving. Number 7, Common, Resurrection. His debut, Can I Borrow $1, went largely ignored in '92. The reboot, Resurrection, outside of the now classic single I Used to Love Her, initially suffered the same Blind Eye syndrome. It received better critical acclaim than his first record, but rap was burgeoning into an East Coast and West Coast thing at this time. Everyone outside of those areas were just afterthoughts. An interesting little Easter egg. The album was divided up as East Side of Stony and West Side of Stony, referring to Stony Island Avenue that runs through Calm's stomping grounds. While hindsight and all of the fan love in the world now won't do anything for the overall lackluster numbers it put up, at least we can fully appreciate it now. And not only because of her, whom NWA co-founder Ice Cube took offense to, leading to their little mini feud, we're gonna declare that the Pete Rock produced The Bitchin' You being the best track to come out of that long squashed beef. The title track, being the only other single release, has a classic hip-hop feel to it, with Calm waxing poetic on those same type of confused girls that another one of his rap foes has been known to rap excessively about. This Is Me is his proud display of only rapping about what's real to him, Nothing to Do wasted no time in utilizing some Wu-Tang in its hook, while Some Shit I Wrote is a hidden head nodder over a dope piano loop and Biz Markie sample. While the album's producer No ID was anonymous at the time, he absolutely gave Common some heat across the nearly hour-long runtime. In what we can only count up as a coincidence, he uses the same drum loop from Grover Washington Jr.'s Hydra on Orange Pineapple Juice, as did the album version of Biggie's One More Chance. A great choice, as it's been passed around as much as, well, you know. No ID even dropped some rhymes over his own production on In My Own World. We know Calm and Pete Rock just dropped a couple of months ago, and yes, that album is fire. But go back and chew on this project if you've been erroneously sleeping all these years. Number 6, Gang Starr, Hard to Earn. Well, that didn't take us too long to get to now, did it? Moving up from third to lead position on the thrice beat-changing track Speak Your Clout, J. Rue the Damager, Lil Dap, and Guru kick enough fly freestyles to make us wish for a full album in this style, and just replace Dap with rapper XYZ in the middle. Premier and Ballhead Slick's chemistry was well developed by the time Hard to Earn arrived, displayed on the braggadocious blowing up the spot, mostly the voice and Suckers Need Bodyguards. Keith Elam manages to pause the self-boosting lines long enough to give us a small glimpse into his come up on the planet, and taking a more humble but strong-armed approach on Code of the Streets. Never forgetting the importance of the DJ, Primo does some of the best scratches of Tribe's vocals on A Long Way to Go, as well as blending it nice and smooth on previous work on DeWick, as it sees an official release here following its rollout as a B-side to 92's Take It Personal. You can thank the late great Biz Markie for influencing the name of that track, as he would jokingly do an MJ move by grabbing his jewels and hollering out. Okay, I think you get the picture now. Ironically enough, or not, the main sample used for Mass Appeal comes from a long-forgotten group of kid rappers named the Youngsters.
Once again, I reveal the skill, money's going like grass with the Mass Appeal. And you'll be happy as hell to get a record deal. Maybe your soul you tell.
Mass Appeal.
This joint garnered its namesake for the duo being one of their only 2 tracks appearing on Billboard 100 and helping it peak at number 2 on the top hip-hop and R&B charts. No small feat considering everything that dropped that year. This one stood the test of time and is an easy recommendation for your record rotations. Number 5, Heavy D and the Boys, Nothing But Love. Letting his vast network of industry colleagues in the game give him his flowers on the Chili Chill intro, Friends and Respect, MC Lyte and Trench told no lies in saying that Hev Diggy can be listened to and enjoyed by your mother while also holding more street respect than a lot of the hardcore rappers out at the moment, all without having to use a lick of profanity or needing to.
For the girl, a picture, a hoe, trying to make a sister feel low.
No, that was never his steez. However, he had no issues calling out tricks and gold diggers in the most loving way that he could on the titular track, probably his most recognizable hit of the entire decade.
I got nothing but love for you, honey. I'm not your HERB, but I'm your HEAV. Why dash D? Don't test me, don't ask me for nothing.
And who else could drop a track like Sex With You, sans mentioning a phrase about his third leg, then turn around on Spend a Little Time on Top to cleverly articulate his brave and enthusiastic abilities to deep dive and clean the plate of a Pretty Peggy without the least bit of corniness? We'll wait. It certainly helps that his little cousin Pete Rock is behind the boards on most of the other songs across the LP, including the lead single Got Me Waiting. Luther's Don't You Know That is incorporated as the main melody, while Dwight Myers laments over the apple of his eye who wants to keep a brother on layaway. Black Coffee is his open appreciation letter to the ladies, embracing the phrase, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, in the best way possible. And This Is Your Night is the prerequisite jam for us to dance to, where the Roughnecks do the roughneck step. Or as 3 6 Mafia would put it, surprisingly, Nothing But Love is sans the usual dance hall flavored tracks most of their prior releases touted. Either way, this final track Heavy D did what the boys went out with a bang, topping the hip hop and R&B charts while simultaneously pushing out over 1 million units. You can search far and you can look wide, but you won't find any modern day albums created quite like this one, and that's quite a shame if you ask us, fam. Number 4, Outkast, Southern Playlist.
Man.
Boy, if you don't get.
Is this nigga serious?
I said, damn, bitch.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
This some bullshit, man. This some bullshit. Hell no. Me personally, I'm putting this at number 1. Me personally. But I know some of y'all gonna say, nah, nigga, no, nigga. This ain't better than Illmatic. That's y'all. That's the consensus. I keep telling you, I have no East Coast bias. The Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music, to me, in my personal opinion, I just fuck with it more. I'm sorry, I just do. It is what it is, but I know that East Coast bias had to be up in here. I knew it was coming, man. Because y'all don't never show no love to the fucking South like that. But I give y'all this one. I give it to you. This is their list. It is what it is. I don't agree, but me personally, I don't agree, but it is what it is.
Demo tape, don't nobody want to hear, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
As their LaFace Records label mates such as TLC and Tony Braxton were making a name for themselves on the R&B front, this pair of Cadillac loving boys from East Point, Atlanta were the first ones in the fold representing for hip-hop, and they absolutely had a lot to say. Originally dubbing themselves as 2 Shades Deep, Andre Lauren Benjamin, aka Andre 3000, and Antoine Andre Patton, aka Big Boy, put it all on the table the moment their mics were turned on. They whet our appetites with their backyard barbecue-ready single, Players Ball, in November of '93. With the full-length LP not arriving until the spring of the following year, the album version was delivered with an altered instrumental, aka the Christmas Mix. It eventually became a Freaknik favorite while also topping the hip-hop rap single charts for over a month. Y'all can spark the convo as to which version is your favorite down in the comments. Chart-wise, the other 2 singles did not fare as well, but are most certainly on classic status in our sound systems. We're talking about the album title track and Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something, which also gave us our first serving of the Goody Mob. The M.O.B. also appeared on Call of the Wild, but your time would be better spent on other album cuts such as Claimin' True, DEEP, and the funky sounds blasting on Hootie Hoo. We think Master P owes these guys some credit as he outright jacked the same name concept a few years down the line. Speaking of funk, they also gave a whole entire track to a group by the name of the Society of Soul on Funky Ride, a bold move no doubt. Definitely something you weren't getting on nearly any other rap album of the time. You can vibe out to it now with ease, but we're probably scratching your head upon first listen in the 9-4. Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music turned out to be just the beginning of our love affair with these down south boys who've grown to influence the game far beyond what they ever imagined. Now that 3 Stacks has said what he's got to say through his instruments, we can only hope he'll now pick back up the mic alongside Daddy Fat Sax for the new Outkast album we've been clamoring for over 20 years. years now. Number 3, Scarface, The Diary.
Most
the best way
definitely.
to sum this one up is as the Houston-flavored Ready to Die without any pointed attempts of being commercial or easily digestible. A quick glance at the album artwork and song titles on the back of it lets you know that you're about to enter some dark territory, precisely what you've come to expect from the most revered member of the Ghetto Boys. Hand of the Dead Body featuring Ice Cube and Devin the Dude was retitled to People Don't Believe for its single release, but remains just as cold as the title and O'Shea's professional moniker suggests. Also, there's an intertwined nod to Brad Jordan's own slick pen, as the reporter on the song's intro notes his literal dope lyrics, which is the reason The Diary has been on classic status since its October 94 arrival. Face sounds especially chilling on White Sheet as he ventures into the hospital to do a Mortal Kombat finishing move on an enemy while rapping as if he's hip-hop's universal Undertaker across I Seen a Man Die, aka Never Seen a Man Cry. No Tears reads like The Diary of a Serial Killer with lyrics that we're definitely not going to replay here, whereas we found it very confusing as to why Mind Playing Tricks 94 was not a single. Considering it's the only track that you could almost play on the radio straight from the album, plus built-in name recognition from its 91 original version, we thought this retooling was a no-brainer to blast for the masses. While his attempts to do something for the ladies fall completely flat on One and Going Down, they're more than made up for with lines like this on G's.
Killing don't make us no difference, and dying don't make it no different. Cause I done been to more wakes in this past year than the motherfucking Bengals lost last year.
For the record, the 93 Cincinnati Bengals lost 13 of their 16 games that season and repeated that feat in 94 in case y'all needed some context. Make no mistake, if you're ready for the real, relentless thug life on wax, straight, no chaser, there's no better choice than to roll with The Diary. Number 2, Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die. Once Sean Puffy Combs convinced Christopher Biggie Smalls Wallace to exit the crack game for good after being fired from Uptown in San.
The one time I was expecting Culturalist Theory to be different, they just had to go with the consensus. I know it. I knew it. Consensus. Consensus picks. I know, but me personally, I'm different, bro. I'm very different, bro. That's just me, though. I'm just different, bro. It is what it is.
Setting up Bad Boy Records. The rest, as the saying goes, is history. From reading Word Up magazine with sardines for dinner on Juicy to eating
a T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape
on the Isley Brothers' laced Big Papa, the Notorious One's rise in the world of hip-hop was truly unbelievable. Both of those singles went 6 times platinum each, and while never officially added to any later pressings of the record, we have to mention the platinum smash in the Smooth as Glass One More Chance remix, thanks to a major assist from DeBarge's circa 1983 hit Stay With Me. On top of being the lone track featuring his wife/label mate Faith Evans, he spit some of the most intricate rhymes this side of Rakim for the world to soak in.
And my jam knocked in the Mitsubishi. Girls creepy when they see me. Navajos creep me in they TP.
I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. This my favorite, like single wise. This my favorite like Biggie song from a single perspective. But like my favorite song from Biggie all time. I fucks with The Warning, bro. I fucks with The Warning more. Who the fuck is this paging me at 5:46 in the morning? Crack of dawning, now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eye. See who's this paging me and why? It's my nigga Pop from the barbershop. Come on, dog. Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. That's probably like, I know it's a single too, but I really consider it more like a deep cut because it didn't really. I don't think that song really got the appreciation that it's. I fuck with that. I fuck with The Warning more than I fuck with a lot of Biggie songs. Like that song right there, I fuck with heavy. But like from a single perspective, like if I wanted to hear a Biggie song on the radio, this would be the only Biggie song I want to hear on the radio. Like I don't care for any of his other songs. Like I really don't. Like you know very well who you are. Like it's cool. I don't want to hear it though. Then you got fucking what's the other one? Hypnotize. Biggie, can't you? I hate that song, by the way. I hate that song. I hate Hypnotize. That song is whack to me. It's whack. Yes, I said whack. Trying to think what else. Yeah, I only like The Warning and Give Me One More Chance. Big Papa is cool though. I like Big Papa. Big Papa is cool, but I just like One More Chance better though. Because of the hook. The hook really make me fuck with it heavy. I got that good dick, girl, you didn't know. All I need is one more chance, one more chance. Please give me one more chance, one more chance. That shit, ooh, that motherfucking hook go crazy. That motherfucking hook go crazy.
Come on, who else is ever laying down something like that other than him? While it's easy enough to accuse the production of chasing that same mass appeal that Guru rapped about earlier in the year on Bad Boy's inaugural release, not everything here is an R&B record reformed into rap. Some of the deeper album cuts that weld together the theme of the record overall are what draw comparisons to Scarface's Diary and their bleakness. Some of these include the title track, Things Unchanged, and the Suicidal Thoughts outro. Gimme the Loot was such a ruthless tale of armed robberies that even Sean himself had to censor Chris 2 times over. And not even could ever, and I mean ever, make us repeat a particular phrase from Me and My Bitch. Y'all know what I'm talking about there too. Shaolin's
you just had to bring up that gay ass line, bro. Come on, dog. So let me get this straight. Diddy didn't fuck with whatever he was rapping on that one song, which I could kind of understand. But when it came to that one bar, that nigga Diddy was like, yeah. I think he did an ad-lib after he said that line. When he said that, Diddy was like, yeah. This nigga Diddy be wildin', bro. This nigga Diddy be wildin'. This nigga Diddy is wildin', bro. Come on, dog.
Where you put my bag? I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag?
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
No.
I like that.
You know, I'll be practicing. I got
That nigga Diddy be wildin', bro.
Method Man is the only other New Yorker or rapper for that matter sharing the mic on the album, whereas the album version in One More Chance and its succeeding interlude were receipts indicating his truth when he claimed to get more butts than ashtrays. The amount of grit, wit, grime, and glamour is masterfully balanced throughout, keeping heads mulling over its legacy to this day. Unlike the Diary, Ready to Die seamlessly tiptoed the line between commercial rap and what hip-hop purists would call real hip-hop, only bested by this album coming in at number 1, Nas, Illmatic. Considering what we'd heard from the young Nasir Jones on his various features before this arrived, we were expecting nothing less than and received just that. Whether it was just pure timing or outright luck, SWV had pumped a new life into Mike Jack's Human Nature with their 93 single remix of Right Here. Just as that was cooling off, Hot on the Heels comes It Ain't Hard to Tell rocking it too. That made for an easy segue for R&B lovers to latch onto this newcomer, just as hip-hop heads connected to his lyricism on display. Before any of us here at CT were even old enough to try and buy Illmatic on our own, the Rap Bible of the Day, aka The Source Magazine, crowned this record off top with the highest bestowed 5 mic rating, something that both the Diary and Ready to Die only received years after they originally dropped. And ironically enough, the next album to receive 5 mics at release after Illmatic was Big's Life After Death 3 years later. With the batch of producers tapped in to work on this album, it would have been pretty hard for it to come out anything less than stellar. Large Professor and Premier each contributed 3 tracks, along with Pete Rock, Q-Tip, and LES filling in the gaps. Life's a Bitch featured his pops Alou Dura blowing the trumpet at the end and introduced us all to yet another talented New York artist born Anthony Cruz, aka AZ, all over top the classic Gap Band song Yearning for Your Love. The only other rapper heard vocally here, Q-Tip, is relegated to hook duties on One Love, but seeing how Nas handled it, we're not sure what else Tip could have brought to. And of course, there's The World Is Yours, whose title and related video are nods to the '83 Al Pacino feature film Scarface. The impact from this one is far deeper than what we have time for here, but to hit a few points, it's the one where he self-sampled lyrics multiple times. The one that Jay-Z sampled on his '96 debut, only to later claim that he made it a hot song instead of just a hot line. But we all know that was a poor attempt to denounce Nasty Nas.
You butchered that so terribly, Culturalist Theory. You butchered that so terribly. He made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. Come on, dog. Y'all butchered that so terribly, bro. You could just say it the way how it was meant to be said, bro. You butchered it. You shouldn't have even said it, bro. You just made that shit sound so corny, bro. He made it a hot line. You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song. Yo, oh my God, bro.
At the height of their feud, because as the song says, all the words here pass the margin. And that's all else that needs to be said here, fam. Commercially, it peaked at number 2 on the hip-hop and R&B charts, with slow runs up from gold, platinum to double platinum status as of January 2019. But the street's disciples knew as soon as the plastic was ripped off the packaging that Illmatic could hold no other place than number 1 in '94, and quite possibly ever since, depending on who you ask. That's gonna do it here for Culturalist Theory. '94 wasn't called the golden era of hip-hop for nothing, right? We know everyone's gonna feel like one of their personal faves got misplaced or maybe not even mentioned. So for you, we invite you all to drop your feedback down in the comments. And again, hit the link in the description.
Yeah, whatever, man. But anyways, Let's just go about do it for this one, man. The consensus. It's alright though. I understand. But the consensus though would say this is how it should be. Me personally, I'm putting Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music at number 1. I don't care what anybody say. I know a lot of people don't like Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music. Some people even consider it like they least best album. Which I'm like, have you heard Stankonia? You really think Stankonia is that good with all that Goody Mob features on it? Shit. I'm sorry, but if you had to let me listen to Stankonia again, and I can't listen to none of the singles that hit the radio, and I gotta listen to Stankonia all over again without the singles.
Hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stink.